We're gonna see if you guys have what it takes to be a doctor. I'm Zachary Mead. I'm a physician. I'm a third-year anesthesiology resident, military veteran, studied electrical engineering, and now we're gonna quiz you guys tonight. We're gonna go through some questions and see if you guys have what it takes to pass the first of 3 medical licensing exams you need to become a doctor. Talking it up. So this is TrueLearn. I have never used this for the USMLE. I do use this for my anesthesiology boards. It is a pretty good system. I don't know. I might get all these wrong. You guys are about to see how embarrassed I am. All right. So first thing is first. You see this giant block. This is crazy, right? It's like intimidating. So I really encourage all of you, when you get a question block like this, is to, for one, identify what the question is, and then you go through and read the question stem so that you're picking up on the pertinent things in the question, because sometimes there's a lot of fluff in questions. And this is true not just for medicine, this is true for other question things, so you can apply this to other standardized tests. So I'm going to go to the last sentence and see if that asks what the question is. So it says, what type of study design is most likely described here? Woo-woo. Okay, so there we go. All of that whole paragraph just to ask what type of study design. So now I'm going to read this question and we're going to see what type of study design it is. And if you know the answer, drop it in the chat. The other thing with all of this too is that when you're reading, you've read the question, now we're going to read the stem. And what you need to have in your mind is what the answer is before you look at the answer choices, okay? So let's see. Here's with moderate persistent asthma, and the sponsor recruits 300 more. So phase 0, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. It's not, so let's talk about real quick what these phases mean. Phase 0 is going to be a pilot study where we have like a new drug that we're just like experimenting with. It's kind of in the lab. Phase 1 is where you're going to enroll healthy volunteers in a formal study to evaluate its effectiveness on healthy volunteers. Phase 2 is where you're going to enroll a larger number of healthy volunteers. Usually you compare it, if I remember correctly, to some patients with the disease of interest. And then phase 3 is where you expand that number even more, and you usually have a massive enrollment, very large enrollment. And phase 4 is phase 3 is when you get FDA approval, by the way. And then phase 4 is where you've rolled it out to the public, seeing what the side effects are in the general population. It's definitely not phase 4. It's definitely not phase 0. So we can knock those out right now. We have phase 1, 2, and 3. B is wrong because phase 1 is basic safety. I gotta agree. We're past phase 1. I think it's phase 3 because of the study design and the amount of participants. So we're gonna go with phase 3, and we're gonna see, if that's the right answer. And it was. That was actually kind of tough, I thought.